Am I the asshole for telling my mom not to sing HBD to my aunt at my baby shower? My baby shower is today, and I was just told last night my aunt will be visiting for a few days from a different state and today is her birthday. Previous to last night I was unaware of her birthday or her even coming. Then I was told my mother bought her a cake and planned on having everyone sing happy birthday at my shower. My issue is that there will be multiple strangers who have no clue who she is that will be forced to awkwardly sing to her, and they couldn't wait for another day. She is going to be here for a few days, so I am confused why they couldn't simply take her to dinner after the event or a different day. When I expressed my concern, my family implied I'm being selfish and then proceeded to say I have no choice as I didn't pay for the shower. This is my first child and my family has made it clear this will be my one and only baby shower. So am I the asshole for asking that this one event, not even the entire day, just the event, to be about me only? Edit. To everyone saying I should be happy to share this with my aunt because she came for me, I never said she came for me or for this shower. She just happens to be here, and it would be a different situation if I were closer to this aunt, but as previously mentioned I am distant enough to have not even known it was her birthday. Also, when this Tia was originally told about my pregnancy, she was insanely negative and criticizing, telling me to possibly abort. Personally, if I was the aunt, I'd be super uncomfortable with that and would prefer just going out to dinner later. But sounds like there is not much you can do about the situation, but let it play out and people can think what they think. Not the asshole. I don't care who is paying, this is your baby shower. It's a very special event to you and one that cannot be replicated. Your aunt will be there for multiple days for your family to celebrate her birthday, and she has a birthday every year, so it's not cool of your mom to want to celebrate your aunt's birthday and take focus away during your special event. And honestly, if I were the aunt here, I'd be uncomfortable with it. I don't understand how a simple HBD takes away from the shower. No one will forget it's about you, and if it's awkward for people to sing, then they shouldn't, and your mom and aunt will feel awkward, which makes you happy probably. I guess I don't understand the "it's got to be all about me" thing. Like everyone is crowded by you the entire time? And all anyone can speak on is you? I'm genuinely confused. My shower and those I've been to were basically family, friends, a party with food, cake and opening presents. Maybe we did it wrong. If I were at a friend's shower and they sang happy birthday to someone I did not know, I wouldn't feel awkward. I would feel that the mother-to-be was so gracious and kind to think of her aunt whose birthday fell on the day of her shower. Let's be honest, it has nothing to do with you being afraid other guests will be uncomfortable. A simple comment that you are so excited that your aunt made it from out of town, on her birthday even, that you got her a cake. Comments abound about how nice and loving you are. But instead, you're afraid that if she gets a little attention it won't be all about you, and you want it to be all about you. You don't want to share. And that is what is going to whispered about behind your back the whole shower. We were invited over to Op's mom's tomorrow for Aunt's birthday. Mom was going to give her a cake, but Op said no. Did you hear that Op's aunt traveled from far away and Op won't even let them acknowledge her birthday because she is so selfish? You're gonna look like you are the asshole. You are the asshole. The song takes 30 seconds and people who don't want to sing don't have to. Baby showers are already awkward for guests, and I don't think this will be the tipping point. I once attended a wedding on my birthday and the bride's father brought me a slice of cake and sang happy birthday to me. It did not make the wedding about me, but it was nice to be thought of as I was, indeed, spending my birthday celebrating someone else. It's okay to make space and share joy with others. Am I the asshole for asking my daughter for the specifics of her detention? My 13-year-old daughter got her first detention today for, as she claims, laughing at another student's 3D printed shoes. After listening to her side of things, I began to ask her for the specifics like the name of the student, and she straight up refused to tell me and kept repeating that their name didn't matter. In my mind I was thinking of the bigger picture and potentially future situations that could arise, like the parents of the student reaching out to talk to me, and for my own mental note to make sure my child is not bullying said child. I told her I would just contact and ask the school myself then. She immediately went into angry hysterics and called her dad. She is very much a daddy's girl, crying, and he agreed with her that he didn't see why the name was relevant, so that made her level up her amount of disrespect towards me. I explained it's now more so her belief she can tell me no about anything I am asking, insisting to know then it is about this specific situation, and she said she wanted to go stay at her dad's now, so he is on the way to pick her up. Am I the asshole for wanting the child's name or for not being okay with her telling me no? It's not your 13-year-old's place to decide what is and is not relevant about her detention. It's not her dad's place to disrupt your custody time. If she thinks living with dad will get her out of being parented, that is a problem. Not the asshole, but it sounds like you got some work to do. Not the asshole. I think there is definitely more going on with the story, and she did something worse than she told you. The fact that her response was so over the top probably means it's pretty bad. I definitely think you are right to contact the school for more information and then proceed when you get the full story. She's a minor. You're the parent. Go to the school. Just the fact that your 13-year-old daughter is manipulating you like this tells a parenting story. You can tell me or the school can tell me. I'm giving you an opportunity to be straight with me and explain what happened. I just want to add, as someone who works as school administration, it's very unlikely the school will give you the name of the other student for confidentiality reasons. But all other info about the incident should be reported to you. Not the asshole. She shouldn't be allowed to escape grounding etc. by crying to her dad when it's not his arranged time to spend with her. I would still contact the school. Your ex doesn't get to tell you what to do. He's eventually going to get sick of her drama from his enabling. Do parents not get notified when and why their kids get detention? Did this happen after or during school? Am I the asshole for throwing out a piece of art my boyfriend ruined? 2 years ago I saw an original watercolor piece that I liked and I contacted the artist and bought it. When the piece arrived I sought a frame for it, but I hadn't been able to find a frame for that size every time I went to the store. They were all too big or too small. So I just kept the piece in an envelope in my desk. I would sometimes look at it, remember I had to find a frame for it but would later forget again. Work, family and life leaves little time to devote to thinking about a frame for a painting, and I don't have any framing businesses near me, so that wasn't either an option. Today my boyfriend is dusting and comes out of the office showing me the painting on a spare frame he had been using for something else. I ask him if that frame is 9 by 12. He tells me it's 8 by 10, that he had to cut a piece of the artwork to make it fit. When I look at it, the piece went from a centralized composition to having the composition indented to the left side because he cut all whole inch on that side to save the artist's signature, which was on the extreme opposite end. For reference, imagine if you cut the Mona Lisa to the point where her head is no longer in the center. When he notices I'm perplexed, he nonchalantly tells me that the painting was in an envelope anyway, and it's better if it's out so he can see it. I get mad because this is not the first time he has taken something of mine and given it away, offer it to someone or just not ask and do whatever he wants with it. His mother does the same thing with his things at her house. In their family, if you're not using something, anyone can do with it as they please. I explained to him, in my family you don't do anything with other people's stuff. I have a tendency to ruminate on thoughts, so I try not to engage in negative emotions because then I just can't let go of them and I cycle and cycle through them and it makes my life miserable, and I have to devote a lot of energy to get me back to normal. Every time I looked at the framed painting I felt a new wave of sadness, anger and frustration ripple over me. So I took the frame down, took the painting out of it, ripped it into 4 pieces and threw it in the garbage. When my boyfriend saw it he was shocked and visibly hurt. I get that his intentions were good, but he ruined a piece of art that was not his to begin with. Now it's awkward at home because I'm still fuming and he's sad. Am I the asshole? He was visibly sad? Him? The butcherer of the art? Not the asshole. No, babe. He's careless to the point of negligence and doesn't know how to use a brain. Or, he did this maliciously. To make you okay with his tendency to do shit like this. Bright, red, flags. I'm furious for you. You felt attached to this piece of art and kept it safe. You've been hunting for a way to display it, but only if you could find the perfect way to do so. There was no rush. The frame would speak to you when it was time. But he not only destroyed the piece of art you loved, but he ruined the experience around it. This speaks to his character, and if he doesn't understand why this was an unspeakable offense, I would dump him yesterday. I could not live a life filled with so much disregard. His intentions were not good. His thought process was, I know that my girlfriend does not want me to touch her stuff. My family does touch other people's stuff though. My way is better. I have decided to do what I prefer even though I know that my girlfriend hates it. I get to make this decision because I am superior and I know best what is better. Either find a way to make him respect you or find someone else. This isn't a good intention. He was tired of the envelope and took matters into his own hands. Being helpful would be ordering a frame off the internet that fit the painting or getting one too big with a floating frame look. Even if not your style, that is helping. Boo-hoo, your boyfriend is sad because you are upset he destroyed your artwork. And you say this isn't the first time he has done something like this. You should have kept the artwork and trashed the boyfriend. In fact, still trash him. Not the asshole. The road to hell is paved with good intentions. This wasn't a photo that could be cropped without detracting from it. Every part of a painting is intentional and contributes to the whole. Your boyfriend ruined a piece of art that did not belong to him. He had no right to do that and has no right to be sad that you, its rightful owner, disposed of what he destroyed. I'd have done the same. Seeing it framed like that would have irritated the crap out of me. Not the asshole. He doesn't get to cut up your belongings, ruin your art, and then get sad when you don't want it anymore. Am I the asshole for blowing up at my sister for being manipulative and targeting my wife? Am I the asshole? Am I the asshole for blowing up at my sister for being manipulative and targeting my wife? I, F26, grew up in state care and met my sister, F29, at 12. We were close, and I'm the godmother to her kids, F9 and F8. For years, I babysat often, sometimes for days or weekends while I was homeless and struggling with mental health. This continued for years. About 3 years ago, I met my now wife, F29, and got a job I love. Initially, my sister was happy for me, but soon began complaining I wasn't around as much. I explained that while I loved her and the kids, I had to focus on my happiness. I still saw the kids lots, just not as often. After my wife and I married, things worsened. My sister started accusing me of being abused by my wife because I couldn't do everything for her anymore. She kept insisting that her kids and her should always come before my wife. She would demand things from us late at night, like chocolate or coffee, even when we were busy. When we didn't drop everything, she'd get upset. Things escalated when she started telling us her husband was abusing her, but then told us not to tell anyone. She also shared inappropriate family gossip, which was triggering for me given my own childhood trauma. Last July, I was hospitalized for a serious illness. During this time, my sister repeatedly accused my wife of being abusive and criticized us for not spending enough time with her kids, even though I was in the hospital. She even said my wife was selfish for not picking up my sister's kids while I was sick. In November, my sister told my wife she wasn't welcome at family events and tried to plan a vacation without her. I tried to talk to her about it, but she mocked my concerns, laughed and dismissed my feelings, saying I was just letting my wife abuse me. I finally lost it, mentioning how unfair it was for my wife to be treated this way, especially when she behaved the way she did, including supporting her supposed abuser. My sister then texted that she wanted nothing to do with me and I was no longer welcome around her kids. This is where I might be the I phoned our eldest sister, distraught. I told her everything, which of course my sister denied. Afterward, her husband messaged the family group, calling me and my wife, vile, and accusing us of making up lies about his wife. They then removed us. They also took our holiday money, nearly $1,000, and have been bad-mouthing us ever since. So, am I the asshole for blowing up at her? Not the asshole. Your sister sounds jealous of your happy life. She wants to make a break between you and your wife so you can once again become her babysitter and do what I want and need when I want. One question. How did your sister, her husband, take your vacation money? Did I miss something? Your sister vaunts you to be a babysitter but not happy. Not the asshole. Walk away. As much as you love her kids, I don't think it's worth the toxicity of having to put up with their parents. Tell them you love them, you'll be there for them, and when it's age appropriate, you'll reach out to them as individuals. Not the asshole. Your sister sounds controlling, opportunistic, jealous and vindictive. Don't give a person that toxic control over your life. It sounds like you have been doing very well at setting boundaries and putting yourself first. I'm sure that wasn't easy. Calling the child was not the best move, because it just added more drama, and getting the kids involved is never a good idea. I can understand how the situation drove you to do this, but not okay. That's the only thing you have to own in this story. It sounds like it is good that your sister and her partner are out of your life because she would have continued to try and poison your relationship. Spend your time with people who love and respect you. It's sad if that means cutting ties with your sister, but sometimes it is for the best. 100% not the asshole. From the sounds of it, there is some mental issues with your sister. I would never put my kids before my wife. Not the asshole. You did nothing wrong here. If they took $1,000 and won't give it back, which your reply says they canceled you off the holiday, then you could file a police report. I know they don't always do much, but it would be worth a try. I'd stop taking your sister's BS. Also, she said she's made your wife isn't spending enough time with your kids, but also says she's abusive. Pretty clear that your sister probably just wants control.